Georgia Lane with Creative Moments by G. Today's video is a little different. I'm going to give you some helpful tips on embossing. I've had so many questions from my customers. How do you emboss? How do you make sure that it's raised and shiny and looks good? What ink do I use? What powder do I use? And so I thought I'd just make a quick video. So let's head over to the crafting table and let's get started. Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you today about is embossing. Heat embossing is so beautiful on your card and can really make a statement. And you're going to need several tools if you want to heat emboss. First, you're going to need a heating tool. We love Stampin' Up's heating tool. It has 2 heat settings. The lower setting is just to dry your ink if you're doing something else, maybe some watercolor or some heavy stamping and you need to dry it. The higher setting is for actually the heat embossing. It sets it. You're also going to need a watermark stamp pad, and we really like to use Versamark ink. You're going to need a brush, just a soft brush in case you have some extra little powder that you need to get off. You're going to need a powder buddy, and I'll explain to you why you're going to need that in just a moment. So for this demonstration, I will be using Versamark that I purchased on Stampin' Up website. And this is a very clear embossing ink. It has heavy ink on it that allows the powder to stick to it. So let's see what that looks like. But before you put it down, you need to go over your paper with your powder buddy. And what this does is it prevents any static on your paper, so it releases the powder that you don't want. So let's take an ink. Let's take our ink and we're going to use branches for this demonstration. We're just going to ink it up really well, and I'm going to stamp it twice. So there's one. Hold it down. I'm going to re-ink it. Now, as you can see, you can't really see it, can you? Because it creates a watermark that's difficult to see, but maybe you can see it just a little bit. Next, we're going to take some embossing powder. We're going to take gold, but of course it comes in many different colors. It also comes in clear if you're using a different kind of ink. And we're just going to spread it over our area that we embossed. And then we're just going to pick it up very carefully and just kind of shake it to get it all covered. Now, a handy dandy coffee filter, right? To collect all our powder. And then I usually just tap it off. Now, you might need to take a brush at this point and see if there's any little pieces that you don't want there, like that one. I don't want that one. Everything else looks pretty good. Make sure that you take your embossing powder and you don't put it here or next to it because we're getting ready to heat. You need to get it as far away as possible so that you don't worry about it. Next, we're going to take our heating tool and put it at the highest setting. And I like to warm it up on my hand first. And I want you to watch as I hold the heating tool over the stamped area. You'll see the color just take off. It becomes bright and shiny and raised. Once that paper heats up, do you see it? Continue to move in small little circles. Okay, you can tell that it's raised now. I'm going to move to the second one. I want to show you what happens if you stay too long on your image. Once it's embossed and you can see that it's shiny and raised, you need to stop. You need to turn your heating tool off. Because remember, the embossing powder is really just plastic. So if you stay on it too long, depending on the paper that you have, it might bubble up, or it might just go flat, and all of a sudden it just looks like a flat ink that you have on your paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay on this second image longer than we should, so that you can see what happens when you stay too long. I want you to see the difference. You see how this is raised and shiny, and this one is flat, very flat. That's what happens if you stay on it too long. Well, what do you think? Don't you think using heat embossing will really add to your card? I hope you step out of your comfort zone and try it. I think you'll really like it. We used heat embossing on one of our ornaments in our Christmas card, so you can check out that video. And like I said, step out of your comfort zone. Try heat embossing. I think you're really going to like it. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. And if you're interested in any of these products, please just go to the website that you see on the screen, and you can purchase all those products. Well, I'm wishing you much joy this holiday season. Remember, be creative with your crafting. Go out and have a wonderful day. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the next video.